Good morning. We're continuing in this discussion on kind of dealing with thorns in the flesh. And yesterday I asked you to define what is your thorn. It occurred to me in the list of things that I was giving that for some of us it's a breakup. It's just a monstrous breakup. It could be divorce. It could be just a boyfriend or a girlfriend. But a breakup can just leave this lasting impact of brokenheartedness on us that just seems to hang on forever. No matter what it is, no matter what that thorn, that thing, that circumstance that you can't control, that you can't get on top of is, that it can be a gateway into beatitude reality. That's what we talked about on Sunday, this idea that this can actually be a gateway into our spiritual poverty, and all these different things can be gateways into being able to interact with God and having God and His kingdom, His grace meet us in those places. So what is your thorn? And what does that evoke in you? A fight, flight, freeze type of a thing. And then when you pray, what do you pray about when you pray about this kind of thorn reality? Are you praying, get these people out of my life, get this thing out of my life? We a lot of times what we do is we'll pray it as a last resort. But when we start praying against it. We just want to come against it because everything else that we have actually tried hasn't worked. And so we're just going to come against it with prayer. We're going to weaponize prayer, so to speak, and try to get rid of this, make it go away, make it stop, all through prayer. And if that's happened with you, and then apparently the prayer doesn't work, or at least that the Lord has said no, or wait, or has been silent in these whole things, then those things actually create in us a kind of a dissonance and a kind of a frustration, where a lot of times we'll just give up on prayer because we're praying against something. We're praying for something to be resolved that's not resolved. Instead of finding God in that reality, we give up on prayer. It doesn't solve it, so we think somehow prayer is not effective, that prayer is not something that God is pretty much unresponsive. And we make and surmise these different kinds of judgments toward God and about prayer as a result of us not really getting what's actually happening. So think about that today. What are you praying against, and how are you praying against or praying through this circumstance, this thorn that you're going through? Now, how are you praying about that? And has it tainted how you see prayer and how you see God? That's our word for today. Thanks so much for joining me.